I have so many questions about this because this is the interview that everybody has wanted and everybody wants to hear from Céline.
Did you think to yourself, of all the people, like, why me?
I could have gone that route. What is it going to do for me to question life and say, why me?
Yeah.
Instead of living my life.
What's the thing that surprised you most about her in the time that you spent with her?
I think it was my first real sit down with Céline, and I didn't know how bad it was. That's the truth of it.
I was very, very, very scared. And then you panic, so more you panic, more you spasm, more you spasm, more you...
I did not know the extent of the illness. I did not know how debilitating it was for her.
Mm-hmm.
I had no idea that she was concerned about losing her life. Like, I did not know any of those things. So I think the thing that surprised me the most was, number one, what she'd been through in secret, pretty much, privately, wasn't something that she was talking about. She was battling this by herself.
I didn't want to hear my name. I did not know who I was anymore because I'm not the person that I used to be. I wanted to be my own hero, to be the best of me.
We know Céline as the life of the party. We know her as larger than life, energy, beyond compare. So what was her demeanor when you were with her?
She was clawing her way back. That's what she was doing. She was clawing her way back because Céline Dion is a light spirit no matter what's going on in her body. Her eyes are light. You feel her energy. You feel all of that goodness. But at the same time, I felt like, this sounds weird, but I felt like she was worried, not about herself, worried about letting down her fans. Why haven't I been able to be there for them? In one quote, she says, I used to be an apple tree, but now my branches are twisted, and I don't have as many apples to give, but they're still in line. They're waiting. So she feels like she is letting people down because she wants to perform for them. She wants to sing for them. And when they say, oh, that's Céline Dion, she wants it to be that again. So in the process, she's working her way back. And that's kind of what we see in real time. This woman is like, I am going to show them what I have to offer them. And she knows in her heart she's going to be back on stage.
When you record, it sounds great, but when you go on stage, it will be greater. I think we did create our own magic.
Did you see any signs of stiff person when you were with her?
What's funny about that, Nischelle, it kind of comes and goes, and you don't know when a bout is going to hit. You just have no idea. And so she tries to take this medicine cocktail that keeps her body just right because it is a neurological progressive disease that cannot be cured right now. And so I didn't see, but I did see, which was so shocking to me, in the documentary, there is one scene where her foot cramps, seems like, okay, so what? Her leg cramps, she's laying on a table, her entire body from head to toe is like frozen and tears are coming down her eyes. And the documentary filmmaker said to me, I was so afraid that I was watching somebody die.
Oh,
that's what if you want to know the worst part of it, that's what it was.
There were days when the sun was so...
It's not hard to do a show, It's hard to cancel a show. I'm working hard every day.
Céline was the one who said, roll on this. I want people to understand what I've been living and dealing with. And I think that was very important to her. So to see how bad it was, now you can understand where she is right now.
I was not controlling myself anymore, and I want to be controlling. When I say that I compensated is that we lowered the songs a little bit with the keys and project more nasal and hope.
And hope.
And hope.
I think she said like 17 years that she's been battling this. Well, so she's been out of the spotlight for the last 4 years. So was it these last 4 years that it just got really bad, or?
When she was early on, she knew something was funky with her throat. She thought it was a cold, allergies. She went to the ENT. She kept going back and forth, and it would progressively get worse. And she was like, oh, I stumbled, but that must be because I'm dehydrated. You know how you can explain away?
Yes.
It's a progressive disease. So 4 years ago, it started to become debilitating. And in fact, she would sing like singing her songs, and then she would take the microphone and put it out to the crowd. Why? To get a break.
She couldn't sing.
I need a minute here. And so her fans were helping her. COVID hit and shut it all down, which was almost weirdly like a blessing to her, because now she could heal, she could stop, she could be home. And that's kind of when she finally ended up getting the diagnosis.
I miss it so much. The people. I miss them. If I can't run, I'll walk. If I can't walk, I'll crawl. I won't stop. I won't stop.
I mean, that voice, she told me it was effortless. She said I would go up and down and all around and never think about it. And now she's like, can I bring it up?
That's so wild.
And so I think she's trying to figure out what's a new normal for her, because she was getting very emotional talking about her voice, because she calls the voice the conductor of her life. That's really her North Star. That's really it. And to have that, of all things, of all the people who could have gotten this, Céline Dion with those beautiful pipes, you know, I said, sometimes do you get mad at God? And she goes, no, I don't. She said, I go on with my life, and I am going to show people that I am going to be back.
I'm gonna go this way, and then I will do that way. No, you don't do that. It's something that you feel inside, my love.
I got chills when she was singing. And for her, like, there was a point where she can't get one note out. And she couldn't believe, and she was embarrassed, as she said, to show that part of her. I can't believe I'm showing this. But she is kind of on this healing track. And when she was like in the middle of the interview, sometimes she'd just start kind of singing again. And I was like, I'd listen. And to her, it wasn't enough. She wants her fans to see Céline Dion.
Right.
Céline Dion, she's like, who hits those notes? That's what she really wants to get to.
Lying for me was, the burden was like too much.
Too much to bear.
Was it a relief for her to just finally be able to talk about this and get it out?
Yes, you could feel it. You know, when you carry a heavy backpack around and you're like, I'll just keep lugging it and everyone's going to think I'm fine. And everyone, and as she described it, everybody does that to some extent. You say, I'm fine, I'm fine, I'm fine. And one day you say, I'm actually not fine. This is too much for me to carry. I think her fans are going to be there for her in a way that she has never experienced before. I was imagining when she gets back on stage and a whole stadium full of people singing for her.
Oh, that gives me
If not with her,
about it.
for her.
That gives me still thinking
right?
about that.
And by the way, real quick, when we were walking, I go, so are you going to be back on stage? And she says to her manager, hey, can I tell Hoda when we're getting back on? And I was like, what? And the guy goes, no. So it is happening. It's coming. Yeah,
Okay.
she's coming. She's coming.
Okay.
Yeah.
Courage, don't you dare fail me now. I need you to keep away the doubt.
The only thing she probably loves more than singing and performing are those babies of hers, her kids.
Yeah.
How much has this taken a toll on her as a mother? And how are her kids handling all of this? It seems like they've galvanized together even more.
Yeah, you're right. Her kids, her twins are, she said it was totally terrifying for them. And she explained to them, if mommy doesn't answer you, it's because I can't. If you ask me a question and you see I'm not answering you, remember this, I can't. I need help. You'll call 911. Like they have a whole thing that's carved out for the kids. And she's gotten obviously she's close to them anyway, because they're the light of her life. But she got closer because they've been home, they've been together. And there's a point where you see her like with one of her sons, and he's playing a video game like kids do at that age. They're 14 and he's playing a video game. And she goes, hey, honey. And I thought she was going to go like, put down the video game. And he goes, yeah. And she goes, I like your shirt. Oh, great. and my heart just swelled. I was like,
Yeah.
she's so present. She was present with me. She's present with her kid. She's just present in life. And I think that, you know, I think her goal and the reason she talked to us is to show, A, what she's been through, but more importantly, where she's going.